This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. Great pre-owned inventory with the all-important Sunbury Motors guarantee. They go over every vehicle on the lot. Great service department, whether it happens to be quick lane inspections, routine, difficult, they handle it all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Everybody, put your feet up and enjoy. The great Jody Mac is with us. Jody, how you been?
Steve Jones, how you been? I'm good.
I'm doing great. Feel great. You know, hey, look, it's finally football season. Let's have a little fun here.
And your Knicks looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, no, it's a good start. You know, nice foundational week. Now you know how it goes. You go to the next one after that.
Right.
And the next one for the Eagles, by the way, is a regular season opener. They got the hardware. You and I, last time we talked, I said, geez, Jody, drama-free camp. And it's drama-free right up to today.
It has been, which is more good than bad. I had Marcus Hayes from the Inquirer on my show last night. He said the only drama for him was the fact that they once again, and they did it each and every single preseason that Nick Sirianni's been the coach, they basically give their first team the entire preseason off. So you're going to see some guys playing together for the first time in 7, 8, 9 months, whatever it's been since they beat the snot out of the Kansas City Chiefs. And it takes some time to get it together. They believe that they can just show up, throw their guys out there, and all will be fine. We know the talent's there. They showed that last year. Will there be any got-to-get-up-to-speed issues with the Eagles on Thursday night? I don't think so, but I'm glad they're playing a team like the Cowboys, who I just don't think matches up with them talent-wise. So even if they're not all 100% on the same page, they should beat the Cowboys anyway.
Yeah, what shouldn't be forgotten is the Eagles last year actually started the season 2-2, and that's a fact. Cincinnati, which happened to be the Eagles' first preseason matchup, because they've had poor Septembers, they did play a lot of their starters in the first couple of preseason games. Any reason why you think that Nick doesn't change that even a little bit, because he did see his team go 2-2?
Right. He, and I'm sure Howie is consulted with this, Jeffrey probably as well, they put it on the scales. The getting used to the season weighed against potential injury. Yeah. They fall on the side of protecting their players. I think there is a happy medium out there, and they could be a little bit more, let's get ready for the season for me. But, hey, if anybody questions it, like you or me or anybody else, they go, did you catch the parade?
Yeah,
we did win it all last year, so we'll kind of do it the way we think is best.
Right. And that's a fair answer on their part. I also think it's fair analysis on our part that we bring it up. I mean, it's a week-by-week proposition. So is there an area of the team that you look at that you want to see if that area of the team is a little bit better this year than last year?
Ooh, better. I think the offense is what the offense is. And it was damn good last year. And Saquon Barkley had one of the greatest seasons a running backs had in the history of the National Football League. They're making one change on the offensive line. I've heard that Tyler Steen has performed real well in camp, and they're confident that he can do what Mekhi Becton did. So it's basically the same offense, and none of these guys this side of Lane Johnson is one where you'd say, yeah, but he's a year older. Yeah, not really. They're all in their prime stages of their career, So I think the offense should be just as good as it was last year. The question's on defense, because a couple of defensive guys left. They decided to trade GJ. They let Slay go out the door, and they have a question or two on the edge. For me, they're questions. I'm not even going to call them concerns, but they're questions. If you're saying there are no questions on defense, I think you're being a little optimistic. Now, you're putting faith in Vic Fangio, who had a phenomenal year last year as defensive coordinator. We'll see if Fangio can just wave his magic wand again this year and have the Eagles as the number one defense in the NFL.
Jody, did the Micah Parsons situation and how it ended up playing out surprise you?
To be truthful, Steve, and this is going to sound a little braggadocious, but facts are facts, I've been predicting he could get traded for about a month.
Yes, you did.
Because there was so much animosity between he and Micah's agent that I thought it could get ugly behind the scenes, and Jerry is just that kind of guy who's cocky enough to believe he can do anything and it'll work because it's Jerry Jones, except the one thing he's not good at is evaluating NFL talent.
Yeah.
I actually, all the experts I had on my national show over the last 6 weeks, is there a chance of Parsons is there a chance? And to a man, they all said no or minimal at best. I actually believed it was more possible. Now, when it happened, you just don't think it is going to happen, even though it makes sense. And I don't think the Cowboys got near enough in exchange for him, so they definitely take a step back as a team this year. If they use both of the 2 draft picks they get brilliantly, can they actually justify it 5 years down the road? Maybe. But not now. It's advantage Eagles. They were a better team to begin with. Now it's even more of a lopsided roster comparison between the 2 teams going into the opener.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, as you mentioned correctly, Jerry Jones, I think in a lot of ways, I mean, you look at the stadium, you look at these money deals with Nike and so forth, brilliant. But Jerry Jones, the general manager, has hurt Jerry Jones, the owner. And I feel like the Micah Parsons deal, we'll see how it pans out, but it gives you a Reggie White feeling when he signed with Green Bay.
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing that comparison, and I see it. I understand it. Reggie was a pure down defensive lineman. Mike is kind of a on the edge, off-ball linebacker. Don't know that Mike is going to reach, and Mike has been great, but I don't know he's going to reach the level of Reggie White. Reggie White light, I might buy that. And yes, we know that Reggie went to Green Bay and they won a Super Bowl, so that's what all Packer fans are saying, believing, and hoping. I'll just say they're a better team. The Packers are improved with Micah Parsons. Is it good enough to get them to a Super Bowl? I'm not ready to go there yet.
I do have to ask you about Jerry Jones. I mean, because you understand the management part of it. You grew up in it. Mm-hmm. How confusing is it watching how he operates that team?
Well, when he first bought the team, he made the best decision he ever made, and it wasn't really all that hard. He hired his college roommate to come in and take over his team as his coach when he brought Jimmy Johnson in. Yeah. But ever since, he just has not been a good judge of talent. He's a great businessman. He's in the Hall of Fame, basically, because he's as good as he is at the business of football. Yeah. But narrow focusing, just picking talent, he's not good at it, and nobody's been able to tell him he's not good at it, and he doesn't believe it because he never puts anybody in place to tell him when he goes astray. So until someone gets inside Jerry's head and tells him, listen, you've done a great job, you're in the Hall of Fame, enjoy the latter stages of your life, let someone else take over building your football team and enjoy the benefit of someone else being able to do it better than you. Now, I don't know that there's anybody on the planet who could actually pull that off. I'm sure his son Stephen has tried over the last couple of decades, but until he does that, I think the Cowboys will have a tough time getting back to the level of America's team.
The NFL, which is a printing press of money, is going more and more into the streaming realm. Netflix will once again do the Christmas Day games. They bought back 3 or 4 games from ESPN so they can do channel streaming. How do you look at the NFL and their forays into streaming, and what do you think it means for the consumer?
This is one that I just continue to get wrong, Steve, so I'll probably give you the wrong answer again. At some point, the NFL is going to go too far, that they're going to spread their games out over an entire week, that they're going to put them on Netflix and or all other streaming outlets for the purpose of getting bigger checks. At some point, the NFL's got to take a hit. That the biggest beast in all of broadcasting has to come back to the pack a little. I've been saying that for 20 years now, and they never do. So I don't know. I would just be foolish to continue to beat that drum, but I really do believe it. There's a reason I've said it for 20 years. I think they have to be careful. Now, can they kill it off? Never. But can they actually take a step backwards, something they haven't done in 40 years of putting their product out there for the consumers to take in? They haven't. So I just tip my cap and say, yeah, I guess you're just going to have to tell me what you're doing differently, and I'll find it and I'll follow it. But I don't think that it is ever going to chase the major portion of their fans away.
Right. I agree with all of that. And I also think that there is a limit as to some point you're going to reach a limit in sports as to what the limit somebody can pay, whether it's consumer or entity. And I agree with you completely. You kind of feel like they're pushing the envelope, to me, as far as they can push it.
Yeah, but you want to know something? Somebody's out there making that decision, be it at a streaming outlet, NBC, ESPN, ABC, whatever. They never draw the line. They just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And, yeah, at some point, you're right. They may go too far, and they may not be able to recover the amount that they're putting out there to give the NFL to have their product, and then it will change. It hasn't in 40 years. So, again, you and I can sit here and prognosticate, believe we know when they're going to hit that line and go past it. Hasn't come yet, and I don't think it's coming this year or next year or the year after that either, Steve.
No, they're a printing press. I mean, they're just out there. It's a printing press. It's unbelievable. The Zach Wheeler injury, to me, there are only 2 or 3 guys in today's Major League Baseball that I think are capable as starters of winning 2 games in a short series. To me, he's one of them. All right, what do you see in the Phillies here down the stretch? Because they don't have that entity and won't have that individual in the postseason.
You lose a guy like Zach Wheeler, and there's just no way around it. You're not as good. You don't replace him. You just try and cover up the loss as best you can. And luckily for the Phillies, they've got some depth. So for a team that doesn't have the strength in numbers 2 through 4 or 5, if you want to put a Walker Buehler in there, if they're going to somehow be able to figure out what's wrong with him, they're not left high and dry. I would love to put Zach Wheeler out there, as you say, twice every single series. That would make them a better team. But just because of the depth they have in the rotation, they're hurt. They're not killed off by it. And they need to finish second in the National League. I would like to see them skip that early series. That way you can line up your pitching any way that you want. They're 2 games up on the Dodgers for that number 2 spot in the National League. Shoot, if they beat the Brewers next couple of days, they can actually look up to the Brewers and go, yeah, we can still catch you. This is a key end of the season for them because they want to have that extra game at home in any series that they play. And I think they're playing it up well enough to do just that. Even without a Wheeler, I think they can finish with the second-best record nationally.
Home runs mean a lot to that team. What kind of does it ratchet up the pressure, though, on the offense because he's not there? And I'm talking postseason now, not just in the moment.
Sure. Right now, postseason, it goes up even more. But they do have guys that are coming around at the right time. Marsh is the hottest he's been all year. Stott, who has been struggling all year, and that's why they play Sosa at Edmundo at second base when they do. But he's hot, and Bader has been a phenomenal addition by Dave Dombrowski. Center field, just maybe Gold Glove level defense, and he's hitting as well. So they've got the guys. who they need to get that secondary level of the offense in a bit of a hot streak right now. If they can keep it all the way through October, it'll be great. We have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see is right. All right, so the opener comes up for the Eagles and everything that goes with it. Just tell me, what's the vibe in the city with the defending champions, how they feel about them, how much talk about them? Is it really all about them?
Here's what, well, no, that's the Philadelphia sports fan is both a baseball fan and a football fan. They kind of go hand in hand. So people aren't just forgetting about the Phillies because the Eagles are playing their first game. But here's what I will say about the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Despite an attempt by the organization, mostly led by their coach, Nick Sirianni, but other guys like Jordan Mailata saying, we're not defending anything, they're trying to throw cold water on this celebration on Thursday. Yeah. Sirianni has come out and said, we won't even be on the field when they raise the banner because he wants to keep them narrow focused. Now, that's what a coach does. He's always only as good as his next 10 minutes that he's coaching up the team. But the fans are having none of it. They're ready to go there and down there and party. I checked the secondary ticket market. Outrageous prices. Nobody's selling their tickets. They're holding on to them. So, as soon as they kick off against the Cowboys, it's back to celebrating the world champions of football. The Eagles don't want to look at it that way. They don't want to talk about it that way. Oh, the fans do. The fans will, and they'll be there leather-lunged on Thursday night.
My friend, it is always a pleasure, and you're the best. I appreciate it.
Steve, have a great call with the Nits this weekend, bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Hey, the great Jody McDonald. I'm getting any better with having him on the show. Look, let the guys that have gone through this, it's okay to let them enjoy it. We talked about this, and this is a college reference. But Northwestern, for example, played Tulane this past weekend. 2 weeks ago, Tulane asked Northwestern if it'd be possible for them to wear their purple jerseys to the game because of Hurricane Katrina. They wanted to wear their white jerseys. And Northwestern said no. Because, hey, we're going to wear our white jerseys. It's hot. It's humid down there. Just stop overthinking. I mean, David Braun now knows he was wrong about it. But my goodness, and the same thing with this. Don't overthink it. It's okay to go out and let the players enjoy the celebration. That's fine. Right? You can go out and enjoy it and then go out and go to work. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. You've worked this entire time with nobody around to get yourself to this point and let them enjoy it. And and I know that David Braun now knows he was probably wrong about it, but there's a reason why Tulane has to wear the white jerseys. And it doesn't matter. In other words, you look at your team and say, hey, by the way, we're going to wear our home jerseys on the road. They're paying tribute to the victims of Katrina. Right? And don't let them think about it. It's going to be hot, humid. You're wearing dark colors in the sun. Who cares? Okay? You stop thinking so the players don't think. I mean, that's how I look at it. Okay? All right. We'll come back. More in a moment. Great to have you with us today on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Half hour brought to you by Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket, imports, domestics, microbrews, the best selection of beer anywhere. Wine coolers, water, soft drink, snacks. They roast their peanuts fresh and out every day. 6 great flavors of slushies. Ready to drink cocktails. High Noon Jack Daniel's Crown Royal. Pickle Bar led by the Barrels and the Dills, indeed second to none. All at Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket. The average American is now spending 23% less per month on streaming than they did before. In 2023, Americans spent $55.04 per month on streaming services. Last year, that dropped to $42.38 a month. Some households just simply spending less on entertainment because of cost of living, and some say it's also stream fatigue. Apple streaming lost $1 billion last year. $1 billion. Really? Yikes. It's $1 billion last year. Now, subscribers, Starz lost 800,000 subscribers. Let's see, who else? Disney Plus lost subscribers. So did Hulu. Let me just see here. I've got the numbers here. They all lost subscribers. But it doesn't mean everybody is losing money. Netflix is making money. Okay? They're making money. To their credit. Disney,
I was going to say, this is the lowest cable subscribers have ever been since the mid-'80s, though, too.
That's right. Yep. That's
so
right.
It's. I wonder if, people just aren't consuming as much now either, it seems, as well.
Now, Disney lost subscribers, which is amazing. And over the last few years, they've actually lost people subscribing. But they've seen, to them, they recall it shocking declines. But the ability to make money, it is almost stunning. But Apple's out there, like $1 billion. But Paramount lost money. Peacock loses money. It's amazing how the major networks, that you would think of with no TV, right, are the ones that are losing the money.
Well, they're running into the same problems the newspapers did, in the fact that internet advertising is way cheaper than it is to buy a commercial on CBS or NBC.
True. Very true.
Even they're not making, even if they would, selling as much ads, and they need so many more subscriptions to make money than they do on TV. Which is why they're not $6.99 anymore either.
Right. Yeah, because Disney is now, $9.99 per month for the basic plan, $15.99 per month, or $159.99 per year for the ad-free plan. That's the premium plan.
And the thing is most, you're not. I think you still get some ads on some of those ad-free plans. They can't help it, especially if it's live stuff.
Well, here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to cut back on password sharing. All right? Hulu lost 504,000 paid customers a year ago. And they've been cracking down on password sharing, which they say accounts for a loss of subscribers. Well, I don't know. You're just losing people who were subscribing that weren't subscribing. Right? Now, Netflix has made money.
Well, Netflix was the first one to crack down on the password sharing, too.
Yep. Their ad-supported tier is $6.99. Their ad-free tier is $15.49 a month. But it's amazing. Paramount loses its shirt. Peacock loses its shirt. Apple loses its shirt. And wow. And those are all, all major network groups.
The article I was reading about this, I think it was Monday, is their theory is eventually the networks will collapse. And then the top 4 or 5 streaming services will be the networks then, and they'll start making money again. Now it's a matter of lasting that long.
Except for sports, is there anything you watch on network TV?
I don't have Netflix. I have.
I'm saying, but is there, except for sports, is there anything that you watch on over-the-air TV or cable besides sports?
My wife and I like a couple sitcoms, but even then, if we miss them, we just watch them on streaming.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how much we record anymore. We used to record a lot more.
Yeah. Except for sports, I don't think there's a single show I watch that's on over-the-air TV. Once in a while, I watch Dateline or 60 Minutes or 48 Hours, or once in a great while. I used to watch Blue Bloods for a period of time, especially on Friday nights on the road. So I think there's anything else I watched. There really isn't much on over-the-air TV, CBS, NBC, ABC, that I've watched.
You look at the show rankings now and the actual viewership, it's wild. Some of these number one shows are doing less than 2 million TV viewers in a night.
Well, the top 100 shows last year, I think 77 were sports.
Yeah, there's obviously we're a sports show, but they have way more problems than what they're shelling out for live sports.
Well, look at 2026. Why are the networks excited about 2026? Well, if you're NBC, you're excited beyond words because guess what? You've got the Winter Olympics. Right? Even though viewership for that is down, it's still better than what you're doing. And is it still Fox that has the World Cup?
I believe so.
Yeah, they've got the World Cup. And it's in America, or North America, but the vast majority of it's going to be in the United States, which is an automatic winner to begin with. So that's why they're looking forward to 2026. Why do you think they talk about the college football playoff and expanding it to 12? Well, when they expanded it to 12, more games, more fan bases, more viewers. That's why they're talking about 16. More fan bases, more viewers. And that's where it is. But that's why, 2026, they're looking forward to it. And let's face it, if you're NBC, you're over the top that you've got 2028 in Los Angeles. You're over the top. You've got it in America. You've got it in the Pacific time zone. You can manipulate the schedule with the Olympic Committee as to what events to put on, so you've got prime time. That's the cash cow right there.
And I think, we talked a little bit about this when it happened. I think that's the big reason why NBC did the Sunday night thing with the NBA, the Major League Baseball, and the NFL. It might not be super great ratings, but they're going to guarantee themselves at least 800,000 to 2 million viewers every Sunday night that they can advertise their stuff during the week with.
And look, it's better across the board for them than what they're carrying now.
Oh,
can you even tell me what's NBC's Sunday night schedule is right now?
Other than Sunday night football, no.
No, nobody can. Nobody can. I think it's for them. It's a really smart move, and the Major League Baseball part will be the weakest viewing of the group. NBA basketball. Look, let's be honest. In January, February, and into March, it's going to be whatever until they get to the playoffs. But then baseball in the summertime. But it's better than what they're carrying now. Man, that's really the bottom line. I mean, that's the bottom line for them. And now the streaming part, have you tried any of the ESPN direct-to-consumer yet?
No, I haven't because, that's not for us for the most part.
Right, it's not for, I mean,
we have ESPN. We have all those ESPN channels. It's for the people that
right.
cut the cord and don't have ESPN at all anymore.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know how it works. And then who has the game on Friday night?
I think that's a Netflix game, isn't it? The Brazil game?
Is it Netflix?
I believe it's Netflix or Prime.
It's not Prime.
Or is it YouTube TV? One of these is on
YouTube. That's it. It's YouTube TV. Okay? Here's the entire key to Friday night. Now, I'll admit, I'm not going to watch. There's no desire in my Chiefs Chargers. I mean, I'm just going to put my feet up and, watch a college game or something. But you know what the entire key is to it? If there's no circle.
Yeah.
Right? You tune in, you got the circle, which means nothing's happening. And people are going to go, I can't watch this. That was Amazon Prime's biggest problem for me the first season they had Thursday Night Football. I'd be watching the game. I'm like, hey, okay, this is pretty good. And I get the circle. Like, oh. Like, all right, how patient do I want to be here? And it happened, I don't know. It happened a few games in a row. Then it started happening every other game. But then in season 2, you couldn't tell in a million years the difference between an Amazon Prime broadcast and a CBS broadcast. No circle, great production values, the whole deal. And I haven't had a single problem from the start of season 2 to now. I haven't had a single problem watching Amazon Prime. Zero. No circle, no stoppages, no issues. And for YouTube TV, that's going to be the key on Friday night. If you want legitimacy, you can't have the circle where people are tuning in, and they're slow and they're bogging down the stream.
Well, I think they are prepared because remember last year was their first year with it was their first year with the Sunday ticket, and remember everybody had all kinds of problems with that first week of last season, and I think they got it fixed by the second week. So,
that's the entire key to it on streaming. Is when I tune in, do I feel like I'm watching a CBS, ABC, NBC game with no issues? If you're not experiencing any issues, you're happy with it. Now, the question whether you're happy with the result of the game, but that's a different story.
Did you see they can't start on Friday next year?
Why would that be?
Because of that Labor Day, because of that law about high school football in the 60s. Since the reason they're doing it is because it starts on the second Friday of September. And since Labor Day has been early the last 2 years, this is the first Friday in September, and the law doesn't count. Next year, Labor Day is on the 7th.
7th of, yeah.
So they can't play that Friday because it's the second Friday in September. Which is why the Black Friday game can't start till 3:30 or 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Black Friday, high school regular season's over across the country, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was passed in the 60s when they started later and went longer.
Yeah, the latest we ever played was Thanksgiving Day. We played Thanksgiving morning at 10 a.m.
And then Black Friday at 3 o'clock. They're allowed to play after 3 o'clock.
Well, there you go. All right. Go America. Yeah, what they passed that bill in 1961?
Yeah, something like that.
1961 they passed. It's amazing.
And it really didn't matter until 2024. 2023 maybe.
Now it matters, man.
Yeah. Surprised they don't schedule one if the time's 7 in the morning that Friday. Well, I'm surprised one's not scheduled for 4:30 in the morning.
Tell me about it.
In Japan or something. I probably shouldn't encourage them.
Don't give them any ideas. The streaming part is going to end up being very interesting to me. Like I said, I have one streamer, it's Amazon Prime. But it also comes with the fact that I get it because I have boxes showing up repeatedly between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
So they're the only ones I have. And yeah, I do pay. Interesting. I pay cable, but I don't have HBO, Cinemax, Stars, Showtime. I don't have any of that. I have none of that. Never interested in me.
Now, let's see, that's something my parents had, and I'll always remember this. The first time we got HBO, the movie on the front was Dressed to Kill, is how long I've had HBO.
Oh, Michael Caine, Angie Dickinson. Yeah.
Was that 82?
Yeah. That was, oh, God, who's the director of that? Was
Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma. So Angie Dickinson, Michael Caine, turns out to be the bad guy. Yes, I remember it.
I've never actually seen that movie. I just, for some reason, I always remember that was the first movie that was the cover of the HBO guide when we got it.
Wow. Wow. How about that?
My brother and I both remember odd things. I'd be willing to bet I could call him right now and he'd come up with the same thing.
That's too good. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that movie. Dressed to Kill. Whoever thought we'd be talking about that today?
Hey, you never know where we end up.
This show? Look, we just circle at Fogden Airport until the plane lands.
Pretty much.
So I said today they were doing something at Quarterback Club, and it was going on and on and on. Pat Kraft and I are sitting there, and I looked over at Pat. I said, this is like you and I are sitting on the plane. We're circling a Fogden Airport. I said, land the damn thing, will you? He's laughing. People sometimes wonder what the two of us are laughing about. Sometimes it's stuff like that. It's like we have Nick Singleton, Dom DeLuca, and Nick Dawkins as the player guests, and we're going on and on and on about all this stuff. I looked over and I said, no offense. I said, it's not like we brought over the managers today. I said, I think these people want to hear from these guys. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, but it worked out fine in the end. Oh, boy. How many stories do you have to write a week right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Usually a preview. Our football section runs on Friday morning, so it's usually a preview, my column, my picks, and a cover story.
How have your picks gone?
I don't keep track. I should, but I don't.
Don't you think America wants to know?
I had a guy that used to be a sports reporter email me last year and asked me if there was a way to find out, and I told him only if you tabulate it, my friend.
Oh, that's too good. That is too good. Oh my goodness.
I think I've said this before. I don't know why. It's the thing that I do that everybody asks me about, and it's my least favorite thing.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, the prediction thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I've talked to guys nationally that they hate that part. They hate that part. They'd rather just break the game down, tell you about this. Watch for this, watch for this, watch for this, and then they have to pick the game. And like, it's the part they hate the most.
I mean, it sounds trite and cliche, but I really don't care who wins.
Right. Well, no. I mean, like Ohio State, Texas. People asked me who I wanted to win, and I said I didn't care because I didn't.
Hey, I just wanted to watch a good football game at that point.
Yeah, I mean, because I didn't really care who won. How could you possibly? I said, I'm not rooting for anybody. I don't really care who wins. I mean, there's only one game where I care who wins the game. And again, remember, I feel like Penn State's in a position right now where they control their own destiny. So I worry about that. I don't worry about other people along the way. Now, if it gets late in the season and it would be preferable if somebody lost, okay, yeah. Because it affects Penn State. But, no. I'm like you. I don't care who wins.
I want everybody to make the playoffs. That means I get more work to do, and my football season goes later.
Yes, but you work in District 4. Everybody does make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I meant state playoffs.
Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, everybody may say, hey, we went 1-9. Heck, I think we got a shot this week. Over here in the back sport, no. You don't. You have no shot. The only thing you have a shot at is embarrassing yourselves. Ah, goodness gracious.
Don't think I mentioned this. We have Bob Flounders tomorrow, too.
Oh, good. Bobby Flo. That's great. Oh, I love talking to Bob. He's great. He's great. I have a good time.
And still didn't track down a Florida International person.
That's because you and I both know there aren't any.
Not very many.
Like you said, what was it, the one guy covers the Marlins or something like that?
The Marlins and the Florida International, and I think he might be a year out of school.
All right, there you go. He's a year out of school. That's too funny.
The best part is we'll probably hear about him in 6 years, because those are the guys that usually end up with the major beat jobs.
Right. Yeah. You want to know why? They work cheap.
They work cheap, and when you do something like that on the internet, you know you learn how to work fast and what people want.
How much has the internet changed your job in terms of the writing part, in terms of deadlines, things like that? Does that enter into what you do?
Honestly, right now, no. I mean, space-wise, now that our news hole is smaller,
yeah.
Like if you the way our system is set up, once it's in the system, the full story goes on the internet, and whatever you cut in out of the paper stays on the internet version. So that's a plus, because I mean our news hole is so small. Sometimes on Friday nights, maybe 8-10 paragraphs of some of those games are only getting in it. People are spending on. But other than that, right now, it's more involved. That's how, if you're a subscriber, that's how you're getting your weekend news from us from now, since we don't publish on the weekends.
Right.
But
boy. See, that's what I told Dick Girardi. Because when DJ retired from the Philly Daily News a few years ago, I said, Dick, I got to give you credit. I said, timing means everything. I said, when you got into it in the 80s, newspapers were hot. You're writing for the Daily News. They give you more freedom. You had all this access, everything you did. And I said, and right about the point where the newspapers are fading, that's when you got out.
He's not the only one that's branched out into other things besides newspapering, because newspapering's going by the wayside.
Look at you today, co-host of a major radio show.
Look at all the stuff that Jody does.
Yeah, Jody's all over the place.
I mean, you have to diversify these days.
And that's something I preached when I taught class at Penn State. That's what I preached over and over and over again. To them, I said, look, you have to have versatility. I said, because if you combine everything, you can make a living. I said, then maybe later in life you can just concentrate on one thing.